In today's episode, we are talking about one of the biggest mistakes that I see women make when they start building a business online. And that is designing it around trading their time for money before they even know that there is another way. So let's talk about it. When most women start thinking about how to make money from their expertise, the model that they default to is a pretty logical one. Someone needs help with something that you know how to do, so you help them, they pay you. You help someone else, they pay you too. It's one-to-one, your time, their money. It makes complete sense on the surface. And honestly, for a lot of women, it feels like the safest place to start. It's familiar, it's tangible, you're not really exposed, like you would be if there was more people there at once. And it can sometimes feel like real work as well, especially when you're coming from a field or an industry where your hours really do represent what you're getting paid for. It's a complete mindset shift to swap that all on its head. But here's what nobody tells you when you are setting that model up in the beginning. There is a ceiling on it, and you're going to hit that ceiling way faster than you think. Because you have a limited number of hours in your week. You have a limited amount of energy. You have a limited capacity for clients before the quality of what you deliver starts to suffer and before you start to feel like exhausted and maybe even resentful of having to show up and say the same thing in a different way to a different person. But here's what it looks like. You could be taking on 5 clients initially, then increasing it. You've got 8 clients coming in, then maybe you're increasing it a bit more. You're bringing in 10 if you're pushing it. And at that point, your income gets capped. Okay, your income gets capped. And it's not because of your ambition or your ability or even the demand for what you do, but it gets capped because you simply don't have any more hours in the week to physically give. And here's the part that can get really frustrating. You likely started your business for freedom. You likely started it for more flexibility in the week, for the ability to work in a way that fits around your life. But a one-to-one model that's full to capacity does not feel like freedom. It feels like a prison that you've built for yourself. There are 2 very, very different paths available to you. And I want you to know and understand that neither one is wrong. The first route is what I'd like to call the scenic route. You take on the one-to-one clients first, you build your reputation, you gather your case studies, your testimonials, you get really clear on who you serve and what they need. And then later down the line, potentially years later, you transition into a one-to-many model. Once you feel like you've got that sort of solid ground underneath you. This model, it feels sensible. It is linear. And for a lot of women, it is the right way to go. But here is something that I want you to know, because nobody talks about this nearly enough. You don't actually have to take the scenic route if you don't want to. It is absolutely possible to leapfrog the one-to-many model entirely and go straight into serving people one-to-many from the very beginning. And I'm going to say that this is particularly accessible for those of you who've come from professions where you've had to speak in front of a crowd. If you came from a training background or a leadership role, a consultant role, a teacher like me, facilitator of any kind, then this can be a natural space for you to fall into. And I'm not saying that you have to be comfortable with speaking in front of a crowd. I know it was absolutely outside my comfort zone when I made the move from standing in front of a classroom of teenagers to training adults on marketing for their businesses. The audience completely changed, the stakes felt completely different, and my inner critic was loud. But it was also within my realm of possibility because I had done it before in some form. And that may be true for you too. So if speaking to a group is somewhere in your professional history, then jumping straight into a one-to-many model is a very, very real option for you, and that gets to be very, very exciting. A brilliant way to make that leap to start with is to do group workshops. You could ask yourself, what is one thing that I know how to teach that a lot of people need right now? And instead of packaging it into the one-to-one program that you do, let it become your first one-to-many offer. You know, you get to show up once, you impact many people at the same time, and immediately from day one, you're getting your time back rather than giving your time away, doing the same thing for lots of different people. So whether you take the scenic route or you leap straight over it like I did, the destination is the same. A business model where your income is no longer directly tied to the number of hours you work, where your knowledge serves more people at the same time, makes a bigger impact, and gives you more breathing room rather than anything else. So I'm going to go deep on exactly what that looks like in practice, what the one-to-many model really feels like to be part of, and what it makes possible for your life and for your business in the next episode. So if today has landed for you and you're starting to feel like there could be an alternative, better way to build this thing, then watch out for the next episode. It's going to be one that you're going to want to watch or listen to next. If today has got you thinking, I'd love to hear what's coming up for you. Come and find me over on Instagram and tell me, are you planning to take the scenic route or are you thinking about making the leap straight into one-to-many? Either way, I genuinely believe you can do this faster than you think is even possible. And I'd love to help you figure out which path makes the most sense for you.